everyone, my name is Brian and this is Dark Age. Y'all ready to wrangle some wild history? We're diving into the world of good old cowboys, those rugged badasses who roamed the untamed Wild West like nobody's business. Now, if you're wondering how these Rough Riders managed to survive all that rough and tumble on the trail, well, it's no secret. They pack some mean essentials. The good old days of the American Old West. Now, you've seen those cowboys in movies riding tall in the saddle and herding cattle, but what you might not know is how they managed to survive the untamed frontier with no GPS or fancy gadgets. In this here video, we're going to get up close and personal with the top 11 items that every self-respecting cowboy toting on the trail. You betcha, these ain't just ordinary possessions, these babies were the real deal to keep them alive and kicking out there. From them early cattle drives to ranching life, cowpokes depended on some real deal gear to brave the elements in any ruckus that came their way. We'll be digging deep into the tales of their trusty shooting irons, their grub that kept them going, the tools they used for wrangling and mending, and don't forget them personal touching items that brought them comfort in lonely nights under the stars. So get ready to soak in the true grit, courage, and downright spirit of these cowpunchers. Number 1, guns. Yep, guns were a cowboy's bread and butter, main tool for survival out there on the range. Now, you might have seen them classic lever-action rifles in them old western flicks, but back in the day, cowboys used all sorts of guns. Some toted old sharps or black powder muskets, it all depended on the era. The lever-action rifle was the real game changer, especially after the Civil War. Check out some Henry's lever-action X, they're true gems. They come 45, 70, and boy, they are fast shooters. Not only for self-defense, but also for hunting. These rifles were a cowboy's best friend. You'd never catch him riding without one, usually kept right in a trusty scabbard. Now the 6-shooter, that was more of a fancy city folks kind of thing, or something gunfighters would carry. Sure, everybody in the Old West had a 6-shooter, but it wasn't necessarily common for cowboys. It was a luxury item for them. Number 2, coat. The trusty coat is a cowboy's best friend when winter comes a-knocking. On the trail, you gotta be ready for that chill, cause riding high on a horse means that wind's gonna bite. You need something to cover up and keep you toasty warm. Now, on a day like today, with the sun shining bright, cowboy might leave this coat in the chuck wagon. But when them clouds roll in and the rain starts a-pouring, you better believe they'll be glad to have a good duster or rain jacket. It's their shield against those relentless raindrops, and they'd often wax it up so the water just slides right off. This here coat is long, reaches all the way down to my boots, perfect for keeping that cold wind from riding its way in. When you're riding that horse, you want to cover up as much as you can, and it's not just about staying dry. Keeps them pesky dust and wind from bothering you too. This baby really breaks the wind, keeping you cozy and comfortable. Number 3, bedroll. The bedroll, cowboy's ticket to a good night's sleep out there on the trail. You might have seen it in them old westerns. All them cowboys with those long bedrolls wrapped around their bodies, it's like their cozy cocoon, keeping them warm and shielded from the elements. Now, this one right here is made of heavy canvas, and it's even got some wax in it to make it extra tough against the weather. Sure, it's a bit of the heavy side, but hey, if you got a trusty steed, it ain't no big deal. Just tie it up with some good old rope, you're good to go. Inside, you got a wool blanket. And let me tell you, wool means serious business when it comes to keeping warm. Climb on in, pull that blanket over you, tuck around your feet, and you're in for a snug night's rest. It's like a portable toasty cocoon. That canvas underneath even keeps you cozy by keeping you off the cold ground. You just wrap it up with an old belt to make it work. You see, a bedroll's all about keeping it simple, functional, and effective. And let me tell you, if you're hiking with some buddies who need a place to sleep, just grab a polypropylene tarp and a fleece blanket, you're good to go. Number 4, cordage. Absolutely, cordage was like gold for a cowboy. No doubt, rope was a major player in their toolkit, essential for their trade, in wrangling those cattle. But let me tell you, them strips of rawhide were another cowboy secret weapon. They could tie things down, fix stuff up, and it had more uses than you could shake a stick at. Shoot, even my daughter, who just rides horses for fun, says she uses them all the time. Nowadays, we got our fancy paracord, and it's real handy too, but back then, them strips of rawhide were the real deal. Strong as an ox and versatile as it all can get out. A cowboy never went anywhere without using some sort of cordage close at hand. It was like their lifeline, helping them get things done, whether it was on the trail or just around the ranch. Number 5, bandana. This little piece of cloth was a game changer for cowboys, no doubt about it. Now, you might have seen those sneaky villains coming up to hide their mugs and do some shady business. But for our cowboys, it's all about practicality. When things got real hairy out on the trail, like brush fires, windstorms, or sandstorms, that trusty bandana was their best buddy. Wrapping it around their face provided some solid protection from the elements, keeping them safe and sound. Plus, in the dog days of summer, it was the coolest way to keep your necks from frying, like bacon in a skillet. But hey, the bandana wasn't a one-trick pony. Come winter, it had their backs too, helping to seal out the icy chill and keeping things cozy. And get this, it was a jack-of-all-trades kind of deal. They could turn it into a makeshift sack with a stick to come up with a gazillion other ways to make it useful. Number 6, hat. Yep. No doubt about it, one of the essentials was a head cover. And get this, it's kind of funny, but these here hats didn't really pop up until the late 1800s. Back in the day, most cowboys sported bowlers and all sorts of other hats. But let me tell you, the one that became the real deal, the iconic cowboy hat, was the Stetson and them types. Oh, and don't forget them sombreros. Lots of cowboys down in the Southwest rock these bad boys to keep the sun from roasting their faces and noggins, keeping them cool as cucumbers. Come winter, you betcha it served another purpose, giving them a bit of warmth. So, there you have it, the lowdown on why these cowboy hats were the bee's knees for them cowpokes on the trail. Number 7, cowboy boots. When it comes to sturdy footwear, cowboy boots are the real deal. I mean, come on, we're talking about a pair that'll go the distance. Handle rugged terrain like a champ and keep you moving and grooving out there. A good old pair of cowboy boots is a must-have for any cowpoke worth their salt. Whether you're wrangling cattle, riding through rough trails, or just looking sharp at the local saloon, these boots got your back, or rather your feet. They're made of tough living, durable as they come, and built to withstand all sorts of wear and tear. You want to be sure your footwear can keep up with your adventures out there in the wild? Cowboy boots sure as shootin' fit the bill. Number 8, tinderbox. No doubt about it, a tinderbox was pure gold for them cowboys, because you gotta have a way to start a fire out there. Now, they might not have had Altoids back in the day, but they had their own tricks up their sleeves. Keeping some char cloth handy or some other fire tender was a savvy move. They could light up that fire and then tuck it all back nice and snug. Flint and steel was their go-to combo for striking up that fire, and it was a must-have item for any cowboy worth his salt. Now, check this out. They'd use wax jute to get things sparking too. Covering that jute with wax made it highly flammable. And they'd keep those small sticks around, all waxed up and ready to roll. It's all about getting that fire started with the basics, then finding the right wood to build that bigger blaze. A good fire kit's like having a treasure chest, my friends. It's essential out there on the trail, keeping you warm, bringing the light, boosting your morale when the going gets tough. Plus, it's like a no trespassing sign for them predators. Keeps them at bay. Number 9, field knife. Speaking of knives, yep, a solid fixed blade knife was a cowboy's best pal out there on the frontier, and you can't forget the trusty leather sheath that goes with it. Knives were the ultimate tool for them cowboys, a must-have on the trail. No ifs, no ands, no buts. It's the cowboy's Swiss Army knife. You can do just about anything with it. Prep food, keep yourself safe, skin game, cut through rope like butter, the list goes on and on. Number 10, cook set. When you're out there on the trail, a good cook set becomes your best buddy. Sure, if you're rolling with a chuck wagon, that's half the battle taken care of. Those cowpokes would come back after a long day in the saddle and find a hearty meal waiting for them. But let's be real, sometimes you gotta fend for yourself, whether you're out on the trail for days or just moseying back to town. Having a cook set is gold in those situations. It's your ticket to a warm meal and a steaming cup of coffee. A must for me and plenty others. Can't forget the good old spoon or fork either. You gotta have the right tools to chow down on that grub. Now, these days, you got all sorts of fancy lightweight camping gear, real nifty stuff that fits together like a puzzle. Back in the Old West, wasn't all fancy pants like that. Those cowboys had to rely on some good old-fashioned tools, and yeah, their trusty knives for all sorts of things, including cooking. Number 11, canteen. Let's talk canteens, folks. A cowboy's got to stay hydrated out there on the range, and these trusty 2-quart canteens were their lifeline. You'd see them rocking canteens made of all sorts of materials, wood, leather, metal, you name it. But the real deal was always about practicality, not just looking like a cowboy. And those are all the survival items cowboys carried. Let me know if I missed anything by commenting below. Please like, share, subscribe, and click on the little notification bell too, so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. Till next time, thanks, and God bless.